as somebody who has been covering all of these protests and acts of civil disobedience, do y'all know who's actually had the largest gathering? Poor People's Campaign. So to Wes's point, if we talk about people, today, more than 300 people got arrested today. Y'all, the previous acts of civil disobedience, the max was 10.
Nine.
That's wonderful that 300 people got arrested, but we still, here's my challenge, you guys. Let me just say one other thing. So the first priority here, as you've laid it, this is in order of priority. The first priority here is in the filibuster.
That's number one.
If the strategy is that we put voting behind that, then we'll never even get to that. Number one, let's just be real about that. The filibuster ain't gonna be ended.
But no, Avis, hold up. Avis, you can't, no, hold up, Avis, this is factual. No, Avis, wait a minute, Avis, this is factual. Avis, 1 second. Avis, 1 second. Avis, this is factual. You're not going to get the For the People Act unless you actually do end the filibuster on this bill.
My first, no, that's not true. There's another way to do this.
What is it?
You can cut out an exception.
That's what we're talking about.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Because these are two different things. I think we need to be very clear when we are telling the public about what's at stake here and strategy and the strategy to get it. One strategy is completely eliminate the filibuster. My argument with that is I'm not even in favor of that. Why? Because we are not going to be in the majority forever, number one. Number two, I am in favor of cutting out an exception that will specifically protect voting rights, which I believe is absolutely necessary. I agree with you. That is necessary in order to move forward on voting rights.
You're not going to get... Avis,
we have to... If we end the filibuster, then we better not ever lose another election.
Avis, first of all, when you say end the filibuster, okay, as somebody who has talked to the leaders, they understand the carve out, but you also make the demand of end the filibuster, which then leads somebody to say, again, it's already worked. Them pressing in the filibuster caused Senator Mark Warner of Virginia to agree to the carve out. So the strategy, hold up. So the strategy is if I ask for the carve out, hell, they're gonna say no to that. So they're saying if I ask for in the filibuster, then you agree to the carve out, I'm still getting to number two.
I understand basic power and negotiation.
Well, that's what they're doing.
But what I am saying is that I'm hearing everyone echo, and I want the general public to understand that there is a difference here that has yet to be expressed. Previous to that point that you just made and that I just made, everybody was just saying, end the filibuster, end the filibuster, end the filibuster. I want individuals who don't live in or around D.C., aren't immersed in this issue every day, to understand the nuances here. Even though that is a good negotiating tactic to ask, you always ask for more than what you expect to get. That's basic negotiation. I wish President Obama would have learned that. Okay?
No.
What?
What? So listen. That's not how. I say this respectfully, and I'm not trying to like throw credentials out, but this is a major difference between like theorists, academics, or academicians. No, let me finish, please. Let me finish.
Hold on, Wes, go ahead. Avis, hold up 1 second. Avis, stop. Avis, I'm going to let you respond. Avis, stop. Avis, I'm going to let you respond. Hold on. Avis, stop. Wes is going to talk. I'm going to let you respond. But here's the deal. You talking over him don't mean nothing because can't nobody hear either one of y'all. So, Wes, make your point. Avis, I'm going to come back to you to make your point. Wes, go.
So it's very clear, in my personal opinion, you have a very small window when you're messaging to people who may not understand what the filibuster is, who may not understand what exactly we're fighting for. So you have to go for the gusto, if you will. You tell them, we're fighting to end the filibuster. You don't tell them on the front end that we want to fight to just amend it or we want to carve out a certain section, because as Roland alluded to, individuals like Senator Mark Warner, who I consider to be a friend of mine, we've talked about the filibuster on several occasions. Without us saying very boldly and consistently end it, he would not be where he is right now. And people, as our community as a whole, we can educate them on what it is that we're pushing for while still saying in totality we want to end the filibuster because we know it's a strategy. You're not going to get votes in the House, in the Senate, on the state level, or on the local level by going in with the minimum initially. You just said you understand negotiation tactics, then you know that we have to go for the ghost to speak in terms of language in which we're going to cut the head out in the filibuster now so that we can get somewhere else later and we can simultaneously educate our people in totality about what this means.
Avis, now go.
How is that different from what I just said? I just said that I understand the basics of power and negotiation. And I understand that you ask for more than what you expect to receive. But what I also said is that I don't want your viewing public, Roland. You have a huge platform. And I kind of think that my people are intelligent enough to understand nuance. Therefore, I wanted to explain to your viewing public the difference between the ending the filibuster and what the repercussions of that would be in the broad sense, if that actually were to happen, versus the carve out, such that when the carve out happens, people aren't sitting here saying, oh God, it's the carve out, that's not worth anything. I want people to really understand the backroom politics of this and exactly what we can ultimately expect in order to be able to push forward what we want to push forward without, at the end of the day, coming back and hurting ourselves in the future when we are no longer in the majority in the Senate. I think our people are intelligent enough to understand that.
Our folks already know the carve out, Avis. They already know the carve out. They already know the carve out because Mitch McConnell did it 3 times. Mitch McConnell did it. They know the carve out.
We're trying to get the Democrats to do it.
But what I'm saying is our people know the carve out. They get it.
For a quick sec, are we not trying to get him to do that? So what I'm saying though is that prior to you can say that people understand that, but the point is, prior to me raising this point, this panel to a person was going around saying, in the filibuster, in the filibuster, in the filibuster. All I was trying to do was to speak to my people in a way so they can understand what is actually going on in D.C. right now, such that when the filibuster isn't ended, they might not be so disappointed to say, well, we didn't get that, and understand that there are different ways to get to the end game outside of that big picture thing that a lot of people are messaging around that actually can at the end of the day come back and bite us in the ass when we are no longer in the majority. People need to understand that.
Well, first of all, again, one second, hold up, 1 second. I'm gonna go Julianne, Kadeem, Omakongo, West. Julianne, go.
Avis, I think that both you and Wes are kind of being, respectfully I say this, but condescending to our people. Our people are not stupid. They understand.
Actually, there are a lot of stupid Americans, but go ahead.
There's some stupid white people out there, but I think that a lot of black people understand this issue. And when you say, I have to explain this, because we know that the filibuster has often helped us and also often hurt us. I think that people are very capable of dealing with the issue of nuance. I'm kind of tired of us in the Washington bubble assuming, now that I live in LA, assuming that people outside the Washington bubble don't get it. We get it. People get it.
What I'm saying is that most people aren't, their whole lives don't revolve around.
Ho. Julianne, finish.
I just think that we need to give black people and other people more credit. There are no rights without voting rights. There are no rights without voting rights. And we have to be very, very clear about that.
Kadeem?
Well, personally, I don't know that I agree that we need to preserve the filibuster in order to preserve Democratic power when Democrats are in the minority. I think what we've seen again and again is that the filibuster operates in a conservative way. It prevents policies that help the poor, help people of color from coming into law, becoming law. It's not something that Democrats can really wield effectively because the Democrats are often trying to push for legislation, trying to push for progressive measures to pass. We're not trying to prevent laws from getting passed typically, and so I kind of don't see the strategic value of having the filibuster preserved just in case Democrats need to block some type of Republican legislation. I don't really see us, I don't see that scenario happening very often. So I kind of think that having end the filibuster be our rallying cry. It's a good rallying cry because we should have a democracy that works where the majority in the Senate passes laws. We shouldn't have a minority in the Senate preventing laws that have majority support from becoming law. And I think that's a principle that should exist whether Democrats are in the majority or in the minority. We should stand for democracy as a people.
And guess what? If you pass the For the People Act, you're probably going to be winning as opposed to losing. Omakongo, you get to make the final comment.
I think what has been impressive to me about this powerful debate is that in this conversation, we have members of the academic, the activists, the legal, the journalistic, as well as the arts community as well, who've had an intense debate about the same goal. In a country where people can't have a debate like this without descending to name-calling and other types of vitriol. So I commend everybody tonight for leading the way as it relates to this conversation, and for people who don't see how people engage in terms of leaders and how to engage in terms of how we're going to take action. This was like course 101, and I know you do this every night, Roland Martin, so a lot of your viewers are already used to it. But in order to go forward, these are the types of conversations that need to continue. They'll get intense, but we all have our eyes on the prize, and let's make sure that we're not losing focus on that because it's all about our liberation.
All right, with that, this segment is over. If y'all want to talk over each other, call each other on the phone. Folks, back to our RolandMartinUnfiltered video in just one moment.
Racial injustice is a scourge on this nation, and the Black community has felt it for generations. We have an obligation to do something about it. Whether it's canceling student debt, increasing the minimum wage, or investing in Black-owned businesses, the Black community deserves so much better. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress to do something about it.